right, guys, I got our next guest of the day, Mike DiNella, joining us here, hashtag Man Down, who's got an upcoming fight in just a couple of days here, man. What's going on, brother?
Not much, Eddie. How you doing?
I'm doing awesome, man. What do you got to do this week? I know that you got this upcoming fight out there, and
we're about 20 days out now. This is when shit starts to get real.
Yep.
You know, diet starts to get tight. Training starts to really step up, and we actually have media day for Cage Titans tonight at South Shore Sport Fighting.
So what exactly do you got to go do?
Tonight, it's just really a formality. We're going to go in and train anyway, but we're going to try and get, you know, all the other guys on the card to try and train with us. And my coach, Bill Mahoney, really enjoys it when guys come in for media day and they roll. But usually it's just a bunch of South Shore Sport Fighting guys on the mat, you know?
So listen, man, what does your body feel like 3 weeks out? Are you starting to cut weight now, or are you going to wait a little bit before?
Yeah, I don't so much cut weight as I like to diet, because I like to be close to weight. I don't really like to cut more than, 6 or 7 in the sauna.
Yeah.
Keep myself sort of fresh. But yeah, the diet starts to get pretty tight around now. I've had 2 hard-boiled eggs and a couple spinach wraps today. I mean, nothing crazy.
So
I
listen,
love
man,
a burger.
You've had a couple of fights that got canceled. What exactly happened in that time?
All right, so on the last Cage Titan card, which was January 28th, I went through 3 opponents. The first opponent was Justin Bombardier. The second opponent was Jose Atiles, who I'm actually fighting on this card.
Yep.
He pulled out. We actually give him the benefit of the doubt. We actually believe he might have really been injured. And then, after all that, the third opponent they got was a guy from South Carolina named Detrick Keys. He had a plane ticket paid for, he had his hotel room paid for, and he never got on the plane.
So this happens a lot, as like amateurs and stuff like that. Why do you think these guys, sign these fights and then don't show up? Like, what's up with that?
Honestly, guys want to look like fighters on social media accounts. Guys want girls to believe they're fighters, but when it comes down to it, to put the work in, to train, to diet, to miss nights with your kids and shit like that, they don't want to do it.
Yeah. Yep. So one thing that we can't ignore, man, you sound like you're a father. So what do you got? A couple of kids?
Yeah, I got 2. I got a 5-year-old little girl who's doing exactly as she's asked right now and sitting on the couch, and I have a 2-year-old son who isn't doing exactly as he's told right now.
What's going on, buddy? So we got to ask you a little bit about that. That's got to be a rough thing, man, being able to, parent and then go to the gym, because this is a really selfish sport when it comes down to promoting yourself, putting on good performances, and then to be a dad on top of it all.
It's extremely selfish. That is actually a battle I have with myself constantly. I luck out, and my wife begs me to go to the gym every day. She knows it's a part of me. It was a part of me before I even competed. So she knows that, she was a part of that lifestyle before we had kids. But she's fit right in, and she takes great care of the kids. And, there's some days I'm like, oh, I don't know if I can go to the gym today. And she's like, the kids are fine. Go to the gym and see them when you come home.
Well, it's so important, even if you don't have kids, that you do all you can do at this moment, because time flies, man. I mean, it's crazy how fast time really does fly, because how many times do you usually fight a year? 4 times as an amateur. As you become a pro, it gets even further out and further out, and you got to be able to sell tickets. You got to be doing a lot of stuff. So
absolutely, organization is key.
What does it take to sell these tickets? I mean, how have you been doing selling tickets?
I break record numbers for Cage Titans for an amateur for selling tickets. And honestly, it doesn't really get me in popular with a lot of the other fighters, because I do quite a bit of shit talking on social media. But I didn't become a fighter to be popular with guys I'm going to fight. I became a fighter to try to make a better life for my family. And if that involves making money by talking some shit, well, that's fine. I'll talk some shit.
So you were saying that this opponent actually dropped out last time due to an injury. What do you know about him? Because it seems like this is kind of a good thing for you, because it's a fighter that you're kind of familiar with.
Yeah, we already spent some time getting ready for him last time. I hate to say it like that, actually. Let me retract that. My coach firmly believes in not really game planning for these guys, because our record speaks for itself. We're the best gym in New England. In the last 4 years, we're 52-6, which is unbelievable. Records pro and AMI, of course.
Give your gym a shout out. What gym's that?
Bill Mahoney at South Shore Sport Fighting. We got guys like Manny Bermudez, Jojo Giannetti, Ryan White used to fight for South Shore Sport Fighting, Frankie Sforza is undefeated. I mean, the list goes on, and there's a reason why we're always undefeated or we only have one loss guys.
So this is great, man. Everything that you're doing on social media, working your account, trying to pump this up. I mean, Cage Titans been putting on so many great cards. And, what is it like being a part of, event with so many great fighters that also help promote along with you?
It makes it good for everybody. That's what I try to tell some of these guys is if we're all promoting, even if it's bullshit, the public doesn't necessarily have to know that the shit talk isn't real. I mean, as long as they think there's some bad feelings behind it, that's all we want. That sells tickets. We want to get asses in the seats. That's what makes us better.
I mean, listen, if you gotta go in there at the weigh-in days and do a little something funny or whatever it is, mean or silly, any attention is good attention. I mean, even it's walkouts. True. What walkout do you come out to? Do you got a song picked out or?
Last time I came out to Beastie Boys, nice. Paul Revere, because right at the time when I was walking down the steps is the time they say "and me, Mike D." So yeah, nice. Get right into that. That was nice. We're probably gonna do a little old school hip hop this time as well.
That's awesome, man. And listen, I represent the East Coast as much as I can with all, the local fighters between the Muay Thai lion fights coming over here and the local fighters here. You see a lot of the familiar faces. You're going to be on this card, man. Who else should we keep an eye on?
Well, I'll tell you, Zach DiSabatino. He's fighting on this Cage Titans card for the vacant amateur 155 belt. That kid is a different type of fighter. He is something totally different. His mindset, the way he attacks guys, the way he game plans, his athleticism. He is the future of MMA in New England. Zach DiSabatino.
So it's so weird living on the East Coast. Something that I bring up, man, is the season changes that we go through. It's snowing. It's 100 degrees out. Do you feel any effects on your body? Because, fighters, they get bruised up and the weather can have huge effect on that. Do you feel that ever?
I do. I wouldn't necessarily put it on me physically where I feel, more or less bruised or banged up given the season. But I'll tell you what I don't like is I enjoy doing sprints and running and doing workouts outside, and the winter keeps me inside, and I hate that.
Yeah. What's the gym like, compared to the summer towards the winter? Are more guys there in the summertime? Do you get, more people enrolling?
Yeah, in the summer there tends to be a lot more, although this winter it's actually been pretty busy in the gym. Fridays and Sundays, the mats have been loaded, which we love. Especially my coach, Bill Mahoney, loves people on the mats of every single, if you're a beginner, if you're a black belt, he doesn't care. Any level he wants on the mats.
So right now, if people are tuning in for the video cast, of course, this is on the podcast as well. I got the picture of your Facebook photo of your last fight, man. What was that fight like?
I faced Osmani Rivera at a catch weight of 150. And, I say this a lot. Anybody who's caught in any of my interviews, I don't know what drugs people have done, but there is no feeling like that. There's no feeling like winning your cage fight, It's a high all on its own, and I can't wait to be back in there.
So you're a fan of submissions, right? You're a guy that likes to get on the ground. If it's a karate-style guy, you get him on the ground and submit him. How do you see this fight playing out? Do you think it's going to go the same way? You're going to get the submission? Do you see it playing out a certain way?
Last fight, I actually got a stoppage due to strikes in the second round.
Okay.
I do love the submissions, though. Anybody who knows South Shore Sport Fighting, we love our submissions. We love our ground game. But we tend to also believe that we are more superior than our opponents in every facet of the game. I like to let the fight come to me, and I kind of decide on the fly what's going to happen. Like last fight, we actually went in with the game plan to keep it on the feet and stay striking. And I ended up taking him down and pounding him out.
So where does this hashtag man down come from?
Well, that is my nickname. I go by Mike Man Down DiNella. And through social media, through Twitter, through Facebook and everything, it's become hashtag man down. As you can see, here the stats.
Don't worry about it, man. I'll be able to edit it out. But the beauty about doing this is those little moments like that when you look back at the interviews. So what do we got going on here? You got a 1-year-old?
I got a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old. My 2-year-old, my boy Drew, and that's my little girl Alani. She's 5.
Let's do a 360 for the video cast people to see what's going on here.
Well, I'm cornered in the kitchen by the refrigerator. He's in his room screaming and crying because I'm doing something and not paying him all my attention. Say hi.
What's up, buddy?
So that's what we're doing. That's where we're at.
So do they know what Dad does?
He does, actually. They both do. My oldest, my daughter, she has taken a little more getting used to it. She likes the winning of it. She likes when I come home with Naga medals, with medals. She likes that part, but she doesn't like so much the training and missing me, which I don't blame her. But my little guy, I'm surprised he's not already doing gi jiu-jitsu classes, because I bring him to the gym and he hits the bag, he wrestles. It's unbelievable.
You know, Chris Weidman, he's got a kid that's like a 4 years old that's going to the gym now and doing wrestling, and he's loving it. You know, at what age do you think it's okay to introduce him to combat sports and actually like watch one of your fights or something?
I believe as long as your child can sit for an hour and follow direction that they're ready to do jiu-jitsu or wrestling, anything with instruction like that. As far as watching the fights, I have gone back and forth on this plenty of times. I don't think I would bring my daughter to watch a fight until she was 10 or older. My son, I might let him watch as soon as he asks me to come. The reason being, she looks at it a lot differently. And again, I think this comes down to the individual child,
So listen, that's a huge thing that you're bringing up there, because it's a sport. So of course you either win or you lose, and something that you probably don't want to see if you love a person could definitely possibly happen. You are putting yourself in that position, but
Absolutely.
you gotta kind of explain to them it is a sport. But the scary thing, man, about this sport is at the end of the year, especially when you become a professional, at the end of the year, your record doesn't go clean for a new season. Every fight matters so much. So how serious are you about this fight? It's an amateur fight. This guy can change from fight to fight. A lot can happen in your amateur career. What does a win over him do for you?
A win puts me where I should. I feel this win will put me where I should already be at. I feel this guy and the other two guys robbed me of my second win. I broke a ticket record for amateur in my last fight. I didn't even fight. And, I had people there I had to give refunds to. I had to apologize to. It was one of the most embarrassing things I ever went through. And because of that, someone has to pay, and it's going to have to be Jose.
It's so unfortunate because you guys got to do all of that work, selling tickets and everything, and it's not easy. It's really not easy. So if somebody's tuning in right now and their interest is totally peaked, do you have any tickets left? Because I know there's not many left circulating right now.
Yeah, I do have tickets left for sale. This show is tough. We have 12 guys from South Shore Sport Fighting on this card. So it's not almost. It's absolutely guaranteed that Plymouth Memorial Hall will sell out on April 8th. So it's very important that you get your tickets as soon as possible, because we've already been informed that we cannot re-up our ticket bundle. The tickets we have now are the only tickets we will receive.
And once again, how many do you have left right now? It's the 20th of March.
I started with 75, Eddie. I'm under 30.
You're under 30. All right. So how do they reach out to you? Just on Facebook?
Yep. You can find me on Facebook, Mike DiNella. You can find me on Instagram, Mike Man Down DiNella. You can find me on Twitter, Mike_DiNella. I'm on all those platforms. You can find us at the gym, South Shore Sport Fighting in Norwell, right in Assinippie Park. Any way you can get a hold of us, any of my fighters. If it's not me and you know somebody else from South Shore Sport Fighting, get a hold of them. Jojo Giannetti, Manny Bermudez, Frankie Sforza, Zach DiSabatino, Danielle Hindley. The list goes on.
I love the East Coast names, man. It's something that I would miss if I moved away. My name's Eddie Valleco, Edward Pasquale Valleco. So you know how Italian I am over here from.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I was gonna say, definitely not an Irish boy.
So listen, man, what I like to do at this point in the interview is I hand the imaginary microphone over to you. If there's anything else that you want to get out there on the table now, is the time to do it. And also sponsors, your social media tags, very important to get out there.
Okay. I'd like to say thanks first, of course, to you, Evil Eddie. Thanks for having me on. You did that quick. I mentioned you in a comment, just putting it out there yesterday, and I'm on there today. So that's a testament to how fast you work. Of course, I want to shout out my gym, South Shore Sport Fighting. Bill Mahoney is the absolute MMA mad scientist, not just in New England, but in the country. I want to shout out my number one training partner, Jojo Gianetti. He's completely evolved my game in the last year. Same with Manny Bermudez, completely evolved my game. Like I said, Facebook's Mike DiNella, Instagram's Mike_man_down_DiNella, Twitter's Mike_DiNella, #mandown. You'll find me that way, of course. And I can't, there's no way I'm going to be able to run through everybody fighting on this card, but Cage Titans, April 8th, you got to be there. You got to check it out. We got a dozen guys fighting, but most of all, Zach DiSabatino, the Zach Attack. He's fighting for the vacant 155 belt. The kid is a killer. The kid does nothing but kill dudes, and he's going to win that belt, and then people will know his name. So hop on the hype train now. But most of all, don't forget, #mandown, #fearthestash. Be there. It's going to go down. I'm going to have to make my opponent pay for pulling out last time. Number one thing, most of all, before I go, guys and gals, don't pay attention to your local fake fighter. If he says he's a fighter and you've never seen him fight in any faction, he's not a fighter. Don't pay attention to those chumps. Pay attention to guys that train and get it done.
Where can people get these shirts, man? #mandown with the stash.
You can get them through me. If you contact me, I'm actually giving out shirts with the tickets this time. So I'm running low on tickets and shirts.
I saw that on your page. What is that deal that you're doing?
If you buy tickets off me, you get $5 off with a shirt that's normally $15 will be for $10. If you buy 3 or more tickets, I give you free shirts. If you buy 5 tickets or more, I'll give you 2 free shirts, and so on and so forth.
All right, man. We're looking forward to it. And, of course, social media tags. Are you on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat? Where can people find you?
Yes, sir. I'm on Snapchat. That's Mike. That's Mike DiNella. That might even be Mike Man Down DiNella.
We'll put it in the comments below, guys.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we'll throw it all in the comments. I'm sorry I don't have it all here right in front of me. Today's been quite the day, Eddie.
It's all good. It's all good. We know that you got a house full. We know that you got all guys at the gym that are at the edge of their seats ready to go. You got 3 weeks. We're looking forward for it, man. On the 8th of April, it's going down for Cage Titan 33. We're looking forward to it, man. Best of skill, and thank you for coming on Pure EVil MMA.